under Todd Loveday as head coach. Of course, he's been at Sevier County as their defensive coordinator, plenty familiar with this program as he played at Sevier County, graduated in 1993, and also served on their staff from 1999 to 2012. So quite an extensive experience for Loveday on this Sevier County staff, but they face a tough test tonight in the Rebels here in Knoxville, who are coming in, like I said, 4-0 as one of the top teams in Class 5A in their 5th year under Lamar Brown, who has established quite a bit of consistency here on Sutherland Avenue, and I think that's something that the Smoky Bears are looking for.
Yeah, I mean, we had the Smoky Bears last week, and they played GP for the first time. Had a pretty good showing. I mean, it's a pretty solid win at 14-0 over them. You know, Shannon had a good game throwing the football, had a good be able to run the ball with Henderson, and a couple other guys really putting in a lot of work. But tonight, they're going to play some different tests tonight with Knox West. It's going to be a good football game. Lamar Brown will have his team ready. We used to cover him a long time ago at the other West in Morristown, so it's going to be a good game tonight. He'll have his team ready, but a good game here tonight.
Absolutely. As Chris said, Sevier County coming off a 14-0 win over Pigeon Forge last week in their first ever matchup against the Tigers, and then West last week coming off of a big win. So it should be a fantastic matchup tonight. And Chris, like you said, the first place it starts for Sevier County is with Colin Shannon, who was good last week, but they're going to need him more tonight. West has plenty of athletes on that defense, and a defense that is one of the top in East Tennessee. So Colin Shannon will have his hands full. We'll see if he can get the ball to Jace Henderson, to Garrett Hawkins. Hawkins and Bryson Lane were the two that scored touchdowns last week for the Smoky Bears, but it should be a big test against Carson Jesse and the West Rebels offense, who are without a major playmaker tonight, as they have been all season. Shannon Blair, the Michigan State commitment, has been absent from the Rebels since week 1 when he tore his ACL. Obviously, Chris, I think that's one place we have to start. Is obviously you're grateful to not have to face Shannon Blair if you're Sevier County, but at the same time, it's just heartbreaking to have to think of such a prolific athlete having his senior year end in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad deal, but, you know, as we talk about all the time, one player doesn't make the whole team. Of course, it'd be a big asset to them on defense and offense sometimes, but at the same time, I think it's still going to be a good game. One player's not going to make the biggest difference. Something like that could, but tonight I'm still going to focus on what's going to be out there in the field. And one big thing I think about, too, is the Smoky Bears defense tonight. Are they going to hold up after coming off GP last week, holding them to 0? Tonight, when a few points on the board, are they going to be able to keep their calm and keep their cool when those things happen? Because they're going to score points on both sides of the football tonight. So let's see what happens with the Smoky Bears, but I think it's still going to be a really good game.
Yeah, when we come back, we will have conversations with Lamar Brown and with Todd Loveday that we had earlier this year at Media Days before the season started, and we will also have a very special birthday surprise coming up for you before kickoff. Again, Chris Blevins and Jake Nichols here with you. We will be back with more and with kickoff here at Knoxville West for the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Hey, this is Nathan Miranda with your high school sports here at Bill Wilson Field in Knoxville, Tennessee, home of the Knox West Rebels. The Rebels take on the Sevier County Smoky Bears tonight at 7 p.m. I'm here on the Sevier County side with Brian. And Brian, this is a special night for you, I understand. Not only do you have a son on the team, but it's your birthday.
Yes, sir. It's actually my 50th birthday. No better way to spend your birthday than to get to watch your son play football. He'll be here with the stands, the fans, the crowd. It's great for everybody to be back together again. No better way I'd rather spend my birthday than watching my son play football. He's number one. We're hoping for a good performance tonight.
Sounds great. Yeah, and we have a present for you now since it's your birthday. Yes. This is a one free ride on the Big Wheel at the Island in Pigeon Forge. Before I give it to you, though, give us your best Sevier County Smoky Bears cheer.
Go Smoky Bears!
All right, there you go, Brian. There you go. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the broadcast.
I'll send it back to Chris and Jake in the booth.
All right, thanks, Nathan. We've got a fantastic matchup set up for us tonight as we welcome you again to Bill Wilson Field here at 3300 Sutherland Avenue. The Knox West Rebels getting set to take on the Sevier County Smoky Bears. And Chris, as we talked about earlier in the open, this should be a fantastic matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Jake. We got the band out here right now putting on a great show for us tonight. It is homecoming here for West here tonight, so that should be also bring out a lot of fans tonight. And like you said there, it's good to be back together again. And we kind of took it for granted here over last year to this year, but it's glad to be back. But it looks for a great game tonight, Jake. I mean, I think the Smoky Bears come off a big win last week. Excuse me for earlier, but against Pigeon Forge Tigers last week. Not Gallagher Pippin, I apologize. But they did a really good job of executing their playbook, keeping the Tigers out of the end zone, but there was a little tough football game, and they showed a lot of heart last week. And I look for them tonight to do a good game against Knox West here tonight.
Absolutely. And before we go any further, a little bit of background for you on this game. Plenty of familiarity tonight with these teams. West coming in, as mentioned, from Region 2 in its 5th season under Lamar Brown. West is 37-16 under Brown, looking for win number 38 tonight under him. Brown, of course, as Chris mentioned, came from Morristown West in 2017 after he won 3 region titles there in 9 seasons. He is a graduate of Jeff County in 1987, so of course getting plenty of familiarity with the Morristown area and then coming over to Knoxville to take over a great West program. The Rebels with 1 state title under their belt from 2014 whenever Scott Cummings was at the helm here. And then, of course, for Sevier County, as mentioned, Todd Loveday at the helm in his first season with the Smoky Bears, but he has plenty of familiarity in Sevierville. He started up the program at Northview from 2014 to 2018, graduated from Sevier County in 1993, and was a Sevier County assistant from 1999 to 2012 before returning to the Smoky Bears in 2019 as Tony Lingenfelter's defensive coordinator. Lingenfelter obviously resigned after last season, 3 days after the Smoky Bears season-ending loss to David Crockett in the 5A playoffs, and now Loveday is at the helm for his alma mater and faces a very tough test tonight in the West Rebels. Sevier County so far this season, 21-13 win over Jeff County to start the season, a 42-35 loss to Carter, a 35-13 loss to Central, and a 14-0 win over Pigeon Forge. As for West, they lost to Oak Ridge 31-28 in the 5A quarterfinals last year, and this season had a couple close wins, 41-38 over Farragut and 30-22 over Knoxville Halls. Last week they beat Fulton 31-14 and face another tough test next week in Alcoa. And Chris, that's one thing that if you are Sevier County tonight, that you know that you could face West later on too, but for tonight, you're trying to, I guess, measure a little bit. Last week was a measuring stick for Pigeon Forge against a bigger, stronger Smoky Bear team that they had never faced. This week, the Smoky Bears, I think, have a measuring stick in the Rebels, who have been a consistent playoff presence under Brown, but again, who have also never been able to make that final hump to Cookville under their current coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think last week, too, I keep on going back to that, but that was a really good football game. So biggest thing is they're going to have to keep their poise tonight, make sure Colin Shannon takes a good job at running their offense and keeping their calm. But at the same time, I thought they did a good job of really spreading the ball getting around last week. One of my biggest competitors I thought did a great job was Bryson Lane last week, number 13. He's really fast. He reminds me of just like squeaky slot receiver out there, but they run him a lot and kind of switch in and out with Henderson. And, you know, they also do a really good job of making sure they keep you off balance. I think they did a good job of that last week as well. So tonight, if Shannon and the offense and Todd Libday can keep calling the plays like that and keep them off balance, I think it'll be a really good matchup tonight here at Knox West.
I think so, and you know, if you're West, obviously you want to get the football, into the hands of your playmakers. And for West, that starts with number 4, John Carlovato, and number 14, Braden Latham. Carlovato, 6'2", 215, has an offer from Eastern Kentucky and will be a very tough task for Colin Shannon tonight. Besides playing offense, Carlovato also plays a good bit of defense and has very long arms at the linebacker spot. Braden Latham, 308 rushing yards so far for Sevier County and 6 rushing touchdowns so far this season. So we will take a quick break as West will sing the national anthem and recognize the homecoming participants. We will be back with more here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the runners that led amongst the seas in air, they proved through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Coach, firstly, when you think about the fact that this is the first season after a pandemic and it's kind of full go again, how much excitement does that give you?
Oh, you know, last season was a season unlike any other. You know, it was crazy. You never knew what it was going to be minute to minute. It's been nice to get to have a spring practice and start summer workouts on time. It's been nice to get back in a weight room because last year weight room was about non-existent. And our kids have done a really good job responding to it. That we had a great spring practice, and that's carried over to summer workouts, and now get back after the dead period and start a little practicing. Our kids have had a lot of energy every day. It's been fun.
Can you talk about kind of the standard that they've created at West? Because it seems like with the success you guys have had over the past couple of years that it's really become kind of a benchmark.
It has. You know, it seemed like it took us a little longer than I wanted to get things turned around, but then it seemed like it got flipped really quickly. And our kids have really bought in. Our kids know the expectations of what we expect at practice. They know at practice we expect them to give great effort. We expect them to compete. We expect them to be focused. They know all those things, and it's carried over now. Instead of coaches talking about those things, you know, you'll have players talking to players about, you know, hey, we got to be focused here, or hey, you got to give better effort than that, and that's been really exciting to hear on the practice field.
Can you talk about some of those guys that have taken on more of those leadership roles without you having to kind of help them with it?
Yeah, you know, we got Shannon Blair, who's an unbelievable player, committed to Michigan State, that is a real leader for us. He works so well with the young guys and trying to bring them along to meet our expectations. Mason Adams in the offensive line has started ever since he was a freshman, so he's going to be a 4-year starter for us, and he's really grown up. He came into West High School as a kid that didn't talk a whole lot, and now he's the leader of our football program. I've been proud of him, but we've also had younger guys step up. You know, Carson Jesse, who's a junior, has done a really good job being a leader for us this offseason and growing up. Cooper Shimlock in the secondary has really helped us there, and Noah Geiger, who's a 3-year starter for us, has really stepped up on the defensive side of the ball.
And then lastly, can you go over kind of what we could see on each side of the football for you guys?
Well, on offense, we've got 8 returning starters that started 5 or more games. The positive out of a COVID season is we got a lot of kids experience that we probably wouldn't have played without it. And so we got 4 starting offensive linemen back. That's exciting for us. We got starting tailback Trayvon Barfield back, our leading rusher from last year. Shannon Blair, our leading wide receiver back. Stokes John, our second leading receiver back from last year. So all of that stuff's exciting on offense. Flip it over to defense. We're anchored by Isaac Bolieber, who had a great season at outside linebacker, Noah Geiger at defensive end. You've got Shannon Blair and Jaquarius Wynn and Cooper Shimlock in the secondary that's all back. So those guys have done a great job. We expect offensively to be very balanced in the run and passing game, and on defense, you know, it's going to be hopefully the same West High defense that flies around and gets after people and really attacks the football.
And we're back here at Bill Wilson Field, 3300 Sutherland Avenue in Knoxville. Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins joining you for Week 5 of the Your High School Sports Game of the Week, live from Knoxville West in West Knoxville, just a few miles from the University of Tennessee, where, of course, Josh Heupel and the Vols will take on Tennessee Tech tomorrow afternoon. But tonight it is all about some Friday night lights and a tough test for Todd Loveday against Lamar Brown and the culture that he has developed over here in Knoxville. Spoke a little bit about that culture in the interview that we had with him at Media Day that you just saw. But Chris, you cannot say enough about what Lamar Brown has built here on Sutherland Avenue, taking the Rebels from a state title winner in 2014 when he took over in 2017, taking them from having fallen out a little bit of those championship standards and reestablishing those here. West is 12-2 in the last 2 seasons. As mentioned, hasn't quite been able to get over that hump to get back to Cookeville, to get back to the state championship, but they are consistently a playoff presence here in 5A, and will obviously have another tough test this season when postseason comes along, with Powell heating up the way it is and with Knox Central as well.
Yeah, I mean, tonight, Jake, it's going to be another tough test, though. The Smoky Bears bring in a very good football team, and they're going to put everything on the field to make sure that Lamar Brown and Knox West has their work cut out for them. But as far as Knox West goes, they have a sound football team. They got a good quarterback. Obviously, they're well coached, and obviously they have a great fan base. They have an awesome stadium here in Field. It's kind of tucked away back here on Sutherland Street here. So I look for a good game tonight. I think it'll be close. I think also the Smoky Bears are going to come in off a big win last week. First time rivalry against Pigeon Forge, a big win, 14-0. But I think tonight they're going to have to be willing to make sure when they do get points scored against them, like I talked about in the pregame, can they withstand that? So.
And here come the Smoky Bears on homecoming night on Sutherland Avenue, set to take on the West Rebels in a Class 5A clash. Colin Shannon leading his team through the banner, and he will have a tough test tonight against this Rebel defense. Plenty of purple shirts on hand here in Knoxville, but if you are just joining us, Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins, glad to have you for the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. We know some of you maybe weren't able to make it tonight, and if you were watching with us tonight, we greatly appreciate it. Can't thank you guys enough. Be sure to like and share this video, and be sure and promote everything for next week, as we will keep it rolling throughout the rest of the season. We've got a lot of great games coming on the rest of our 2021 schedule. We have 11 games set for this season, and you don't want to miss any of them, featuring one Sevier County team every week. And the past 2 weeks, we have just happened to feature the Smoky Bears both of those times. So a great matchup here tonight in Knoxville. And Chris Blevins, hopefully the rain will hold off for us tonight, but we are under a temp, thankfully.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about the rain, Jake. A little overcast night. It feels pretty good out here. Actually, the sun's down a little bit. Just what a great night for some high school football underneath the bright lights here tonight. I think these guys are going to put on an awesome show, and I can't wait to watch.
The Rebels coming out of their tunnel here in the other end zone, dressed in those navy blue jerseys, navy pants, navy jerseys, navy helmets, and white pants. And then Sevier County, obviously, in the trademark purple helmets with the white bear claw, white jerseys, and purple pants here in Todd Loveday's first season. So a fantastic atmosphere here at West, as we are flanked to our right by the Jumbotron. Gorgeous turf here on Sutherland Avenue, as you said, Chris, earlier. Nice and quaintly tucked away here in West Knoxville.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really cool as we ready to see Knox West hit the field here. Just an awesome atmosphere, and look forward to a great game. So the student section over there is pumped up for Knox West here. Got a good crowd on the Smoky Bear side here as we have Knox West to the field.
And the Rebels taking the turf to take on the Smoky Bears, sprinting through the smoke in Lamar Brown's 5th season. And again, if you are just joining us, we welcome you to Week 5 of the Your High School Sports Game of the Week, as Sevier County is in West Knoxville to take on the Rebels, who are undefeated so far in 2021.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I mean, Knox West looks like the better team on paper a little bit, Jake, but I really do believe that Smoky Bears are going to bring a big test tonight. Look for Colin Shannon to have a big night in the air and with his feet, making good decisions, and we'll see what happens here.
The captain's taking the field right now. For Sevier County, you have number 53, Jake Tipton, number 43, Garrett Hawkins, and number 14, Corbin Overbay.
And for Knox West, we have number 25, Demarion Jackson, number 54, Mason Adams, and I don't see the other name there, but I'll get it in just a minute.
And the third captain there for West will be number 25. That is Demarion Jackson. So a fantastic matchup on slate tonight here in Knoxville, and quite a nice crowd on both sides as well, Chris, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I think it looks really good, Jake. I mean, you got the bands all both out here, did a great job out there. Nice to see everybody out here looking like they're ready for a great football game tonight, and I think that we're in for a treat.
We certainly are, and we have got inside 4 minutes to kick off. We will take a quick break and be back for the kick here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Sevier County wins the toss and declines for the second half.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
And we're back here at Bill Wilson Field, 3300 Sutherland Avenue in Knoxville, Tennessee. Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins on the call with you tonight for Week 5 of the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Sevier County set to tee it up, and we are ready to rock and roll in Knoxville. It will be Joseph Grubb set to kick it for the Smoky Bears. And you've got two Rebels deep, close to the 5-yard line.
Number 6 Horde, back deep for them. They're going to pooch kick it.
Going to be short, and the Rebels will take it at their own 30 and brought down quickly.
They must know something, Jake, there. They want to kick it deep right there. They must know something there to not get the game started off like that. So we'll see what happens on here on offense.
And West certainly has enough playmakers that you don't want to give them a chance on that opening kickoff, Chris. And Carson Jesse will get his first action of the night. Jesse, one of the more prolific passers in the area for Knox West. 584 passing yards on the season and 6 touchdowns through the air so far this season.
You got number 7, Trayvon Barfield in the backfield for the running back here. They'll play action.
Jesse going to go ahead and throw. Flushed out of the backfield, and he is quick on his feet. Will get up close to the 40-yard line, and you can already see the presence of that Sevier County defensive line. A nice rush from the Smoky Bears.
Yeah, what a great hold right there. He definitely play action. They had everybody covered downfield. He only got 2 yards right there, Jake, so a good first stop there for the Smoky Bears.
A nice job there by number 68 for Sevier County. That's Damon Hughes to get a nice rush on the Rebels early on, as Jesse now has 2 in the backfield with him.
Little motion.
Jesse going to give it to the right side, and that is
stopped.
Number 6 Horde on the carry, but he is stuck. And a nice play early on for the Sevier County defense, which is stout through the first couple plays. We'll see if it can hold up. But right now, the Smoky Bears have come out hungry.
Yeah, they look really good, Jay. They look fired up. They look settled in already. 2 big stops right there. We go to the field on 3rd down here. But let's see what Knox West can roll up here on 3rd down. Lamar Brown usually pretty good on 3rd down.
Set up with 3rd down for Carson Jesse. Trying to throw over the middle and incomplete. Trying to go for number 3, John Stokes.
That was broken up by Braxton White.
A great breakup by Braxton White, and the Smoky Bears will take over after the West punt. So a great first series for this Sevier County defense, just the way you want to come out against a high-powered West offense.
Yeah, great job by Braxton White right there. He almost could have intercepted the ball right there, Jake. He actually dropped it, almost made the play a little easier for Knox West, but what a great job breaking that up here.
And it will be Yossi Birch set to punt for the Rebels. Almost got a block.
Got it, blocked.
And Sevier County will take it. The ball didn't bounce as closely as I thought from that block, but Sevier County will still start off with fantastic field position after a big-time recovery from Stephen Kane. And the Smoky Bears will start with it inside Rebel territory. You cannot overstate how big this is this early for Sevier County.
Yeah, well, and now the biggest test is here is can get it in Colin Shannon's hands and see what he can do with it. Whether he runs the ball, hands it off to them running backs. We know what we saw last week, so let's look out wide here, look in the middle. He's got lots of options here on offense.
Colin Shannon in the shotgun on 1st and 10, starting things off from the West 47. Going to throw on 1st down. Shannon tucking it and slides close to the 40-yard line. A smart play there from the senior quarterback to take what the defense gave him on 1st down.
Yeah, what a great play. That's what he can beat you with there, too. So if he just makes sure he uses all of his options out there, looked up and then took the ball and ran, what a great 5-yard pickup.
Brings up 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard scamper from Shannon. And he will throw for the first time today over the middle. Got a connection down the middle of the field. 1st down, Sevier County.
That was number 9, David Green.
And a nice connection. The Smoky Bears moving quickly tonight with their first down, brought to you by Squisito 2 New York Pizza and Pasta. Smoky Bears now inside the 15. After a sharp throw from Colin Shannon, he'll throw it again out on the right side on a screen. And a quick connection to move the Smoky Bears inside the 10-yard line.
Corbin Overbay, their number 14, with the catch up there on the sideline.
2nd and 6.
Brings up 2nd and 6 from the 10.
Been a great job right now, Jake, of keeping the ball moving down the field. Great play, Colin. Thought Colin did a good job of really throwing that ball in there on a rope there, and a great catch there.
So Sevier County starting off with that tipped punt, and now they are inside the red zone just like that. Colin Shannon gonna throw again, out on the left side to Garrett Hawkins, who rumbles close to the 5-yard line, and he is close to pay dirt, but not quite there. The Smoky Bears, again, you cannot overstate how quickly these guys are moving on offense. They came out hungry, and they're showing it already. Will be a call on the Smoky Bears. Looks like it will be on Sevier County. So it looked like they had moved the football close to the 1, but instead it will be at the 4. Loading up in a loaded backfield. Hawkins up the middle. No problem. Touchdown, Smoky Bears. 4 yards out for number 43. And with less than 4 minutes into this game, Sevier County has a 6-0 lead. What a start for the Smoky Bears.
What a great start there, Jake, on defense. Pushed right over to offense, and now they've got Knox West down, hopefully here, to just take it 7-0 after we see the PAT try here for number 15.
The kick is up, and it is good. Sevier County 7-0 over Knoxville West. Colin Shannon with the chest bump on the sideline, and man, who can blame him? The Smoky Bears coming out on fire against a vaunted Knoxville West defense. We'll see if the Rebels can respond. We'll be right back on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts in the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
And we're back here at Bill Wilson Field. Sevier County booting it deep this time. And it will be West taking it at its own 25-yard line. Up the middle, got some room to work, and tugged down close to the 37-yard line. Cooper Shimlock on the return. And it will be Carson Jesse set to get the football for the second time today. Last time out, West punted, and then Sevier County blocked it and made quick work of the West defense for their first touchdown of the day. 7-0 in favor of the Smoky Bears with 8:15 left to play in the first quarter as Jesse comes out in the pistol from his own 37. Handoff up the middle, and it will be Bradfield stuffed quickly. Garrett Hawkins and company in the backfield.
What a big play right there, Jake, to bust that play up. On Knox West side, they only ran the ball one time on the sweep last possession. This time they decided to go right up the middle there, and they get stuffed for a big loss.
And credit Stephen Kane for leading the charge from the linebacker spot there for West. He snuffed that one out immediately, bringing up a 2nd and long. Jesse set to throw, steps up over the middle, and incomplete. A very nice break up from Justin Walker. Sevier County's defense is on fire so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, what a great man-to-man play right there, because if he catches that ball there, it's a big game, possibly even longer than that. He reached right in, no pass interference, ripped the ball right out. What a nice play there.
Your score 7-0 in favor of Knoxville West, in favor of Sevier County, If you're just joining us, welcome to the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins on the call with you from Week 5 here on Sutherland Avenue in Knoxville. As Jesse lines it up on 3rd down, over the middle again, going deep this time, has a receiver incomplete again, but there's a flag on the play. And it looked like Gavin Jocelyn had the coverage and looked like he did a good job sticking to the West receiver like glue, but they're going to call it defensive pass interference.
Yeah, Jay, I think that was a pretty rough call right there. He came right over the top with his hand just like on the last play before. I think he might have got a wrong flag out of the pocket there.
So the Rebels being moved up for a 1st down. And credit to Jocelyn for some nice coverage, and like you said, I believe to be an incorrect call there, but it will be 1st down for West as they are moved up close to the 50. 7:27 left to play in the first quarter, still 7-0 in favor of Sevier County, and Carson Jesse with a fresh set of downs.
Can't play much better defense than that, Jake.
Off the left side and smash at the
Picks it up.
The football, Sevier County going the other way. And what a turn of events for the Smoky Bears. That was number 45 with the recovery and the fumble, Sevier County with the football.
You know, number 48 and number 46 there picked up that fumble, but he almost took it the distance, Jake.
The Smoky Bears with the recovery and a punt block and a fumble recovery in the less than 5 minutes into this game.
48.
You cannot be too unhappy about that if you are Todd Loveday. Stephen Kane with the recovery, holding that turnover belt on the sideline. And with 7:20 left to play, Colin Shannon has the football inside the opponent's 25-yard line. Dangerous territory for the West defense, and Shannon looking to make them pay. Rolling left and has a connection close to the 10-yard line. That's Mason Ellis with the grab, and Sevier County just like that inside the 15 once more.
They're keeping that fast pace too, Jake. They're not kind of waiting for that play in. They're getting right up the field, getting the ball set down. Or the plays are already in right now. Shannon looks very composed, and they're really doing a good job throwing the football. Hadn't even ran the ball as much as they did last week so far.
Jace Henderson in the backfield, and it will be Shannon bulldozing up the middle. And a staunch effort there from the West defense, not letting the senior quarterback get much.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9.
Sevier County set up with a 1-yard gain, and Lamar Brown wants to talk, and for good reason. All Sevier County so far, 7-0 Smoky Bears, and they have the football inside the West red zone for the 2nd time in the first 6 minutes of this game. We'll be right back on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want 1 or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge. And
we're back at Bill Wilson Field. set up with a 2nd and 9 for Colin Shannon inside his opponent's 15-yard line. Shannon gonna roll right. Gets out of the pocket, throws, end zone. Touchdown, Smoky Bears. Colin Shannon with a strike. And just like that, Sevier County takes a 2-score lead.
So impressive, Jake, with Colin Shannon. He looks so composed. He didn't throw the ball much last week. He has thrown it all over the field. He even threw that one early before the receiver even turned around.
Corbin Overbay, I believe, on the reception, and Sevier County with a 2-score lead less than halfway into this first quarter.
Doesn't grab the kick. Colin Shannon to hold.
The kick is blocked, and West with its first sign of life tonight, but still a 13-0 lead so far in favor of the Smoky Bears. 6:43 left to play in the first quarter. And Chris, right now, I think that you can color this West crowd a little shell-shocked.
I definitely think so, but I think it's all because of what the Smoky Bears are doing to keep Knox West on their heels a little bit. They came out a lot stronger. They haven't come out. I think Knox West kind of came out a little flat-footed. Thought they were going to run over maybe, but that's not going to be the case.
That is definitely not be the case. If anything, it is the other way around so far here at Bill Wilson Field. Again, 6:43 left to play in the first quarter. 13-0 in favor of Todd Loveday's Smoky Bears. And man, how happy do you think that Sevier County alum has to be right now down there on the sideline against one of the perennial teams in Knoxville right now?
Oh, I think he's very happy. But again, not to get too excited, it's still a long game. We're still in the first quarter right now. But at the same time, the Smoky Bears should be really hyped up here what they're doing right now and doing a really good job of coming out here with a big, strong performance.
We got back for the Rebels.
Grubb set to tee it off once more. 6:43 left to play in the first quarter. 13-0 in favor of Sevier County under the lights in Knoxville. And it will be a flag on the kickoff as it went out of bounds. So that will not help Sevier County, but with the way that West has been turning the ball over so far, if you're in purple, you've got to hope your defense can generate a couple more early on. So Carson Jesse for his 3rd possession of the night here for West. Already trailing 13-0, his team in a hole. Handoff up the middle, and it will be Barfield slammed down on the turf, and a fantastic tackle there by number 13, Bryson Lane, who is all over the field for the Smoky Bears. He scored a touchdown last week, and that's just a picture-perfect form tackle there for Sevier County.
I think I felt that one a little up here, Jake. That probably hurt a little bit. That was definitely a great tackle right there by Lane. Definitely laid some lumber there.
If Barfield doesn't feel that one tomorrow, then I don't know who would. 2nd down set up for Carson Jesse, and he will throw this time. Barfield out to block and finds a connection. Going to be close to a first down. A nice pass out to Caden Latham. And it will be a 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Their first down of the night. That one brought to you by Squisito 2 New York Pizza and Pasta. And I'd forgotten to mention earlier, but every touchdown tonight brought to you by Claybo's Express Shine Car Wash. So those first 2 scores tonight for Sevier County brought to you by that car wash. Or excuse me, Claybo's Express Shine. And that is Barfield again.
68.
During the quick pause, I want to take a second to thank some of our wonderful sponsors. Buddy's Barbecue always does a great job for us here at your high school sports. Sevier County Electric powering tonight's game and the power behind your community. And a lot of other great sponsors tonight, including Krispy Kreme Donuts, as Jesse is set up with 2nd down. Handoff up the middle, Barfield slicing ahead across the 50, and he is tugged down close to the 45-yard line. and Braxton White that time on a hard hit. And you can say one thing for this Sevier County defense, they are not afraid of contact tonight, Chris.
No, even on some of these first down plays, they're definitely making sure that Knox West feels them a little bit. But you can kind of feel just a little bit here in these past two plays, kind of get their run game going, got a good pass going. Well, let's see what happens here on this next play here on 1st and 10.
Fresh set of downs for Carson Jesse, and a handoff up the middle. And it will be number 31, Devin Jamison on the carry. He will get a couple before being brought down by Garrett Hawkins. A beautiful night here in Knoxville. The Friday night lights on and making those colors glisten on Bill Wilson Field. Slight overcast here, but hopefully the rain will hold off. But as mentioned, Chris, at least we are under a tent.
Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, we probably don't really need the tent. Early we do with the sun, but it looks really good and feels great out here on Friday night.
13-0 in favor of Sevier County with less than 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Carson Jesse trying to get his team out of a hole, and that's not the way to do it. Flag on the play, and it will be on the Rebels.
Knox West looks unsettled, Jake. They don't look comfortable out there. Everything seems very difficult at the moment, but it's all due to the Smoky Bears putting pressure on them, delivering a lot of hits we talked about. But I'm not sure, Knox West is still a good team. They can come back, but at the same time, if the Smoky Bears keep putting pressure like this, it's going to be a long night.
3:45 and counting left to play in this first quarter. All Sevier County so far, if you're just joining us on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week, 13-0 in favor of the Smoky Bears. Jesse looking to throw, rolling left, evades the rush, and does not find a connection, but looks like there's a flag on the play.
That was intended for Stokes John. There's the flags on the play.
And another one on the Smoky Bears.
15 yards.
A tough outing so far in penalties for the Sevier County defense, but they have made up for it in hard hits. 1st and 10 for Knoxville West from the 32. Carson Jesse lining up in the pistol against the Sevier County defense. Looking to throw over the middle, Jesse going deep and has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels. Number 8, Caden Latham on the reception from 32 yards out. And pinpoint accuracy from Jesse for the Rebels' first score of the night. That touchdown brought to you by Claybo's Express Shine.
Jake, he threw it over the top. And I think he might have been triple covered there, but he was able to throw it right over the top of all the defenders, and he just even stopped there to make sure he got both feet in. Just a great pitch and catch there.
The kick is up, and it is good here on Sutherland Avenue. Your new score, 13-7 in favor of Sevier County. So the Rebels now within one score with 3:19 left to play in the first quarter. Looks like we will have a fantastic one going through the rest of this game here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. We'll be right back, 13-7 in favor of Sevier County at Knoxville West. Here at West High School on 3300 Sutherland Avenue in West Knoxville. The Rebels with their first touchdown of the night moments ago, courtesy of a 32-yard strike from Carson Jesse to Caden Latham. Sevier County taking it deep in its own end zone and to the sideline with plenty of room across the 50, down the sideline and into West territory. What a return for the Smoky Bears. And it looks like there may be a flag on the play. Some officials standing out close to the 30-yard line.
You're keeping them in the game, ref!
3:08 left to play in the first quarter. And another penalty on Sevier County.
That's tough, Jake. That was a big run back there. I couldn't catch who got that, who they called that on back there. They're calling a hold there. I thought it looked pretty clean up the hole there. He hit the hole very fast. I think it looked faster than they thought it looked like. Again, I didn't see it, the whole play, or who they called that on. A couple rough calls there.
13-7 in favor of Knoxville West here on Sutherland Avenue. 3:08 left to play in the first quarter. And the Smoky Bears out to an early lead. That first score came off of a blocked punt that Sevier County turned into a quick touchdown off Garrett Hawkins. And then the second score came off of a strike from Colin Shannon. Sevier County now with a 1st and 10 from its own 18 and getting a fairly successful run on first down.
Handoff to number 13, Bryson Lane.
I think, Jake, that might have been the first handoff they had all game tonight. Colin Shannon's doing a good job of calling his own number or throwing it in the field. So we'll see if they get back to that run game where they keep on throwing it in the field. They are kind of backed up here a little bit, so they probably wanted to get out of their the trouble area here. But let's see what they have here on second down.
Shannon going to throw and brought down for a sack. The Rebels defense all over him. And credit number 40, Isaac Bolivar with the stop. He was in that backfield in a hurry.
Yeah, he was. Colin didn't get kind of the pocket collapse down. He had nowhere to go either. So it was his fault there to get out of the way. He had nowhere to go. He didn't even see. Big third down right here.
Third down and 13 to go for Colin Shannon. Gonna throw, going deep down the left side, and incomplete, trying to hit his intended receiver, number 25, Mason Freeman. And it will be 4th down for the Smoky Bears.
Yeah, and Colin really aired it out there. You can see the kind of arm he had. I mean, I thought it was a great ball. Just couldn't get underneath it there.
So Shannon will be the punter for the Smoky Bears. Yet another duty he fulfills for the Sevier County offense. And a nice booming kick from the senior quarterback, but it gets a heavy West roll and will go down to the 36-yard line. So it will be West football deep in Sevier County territory with 1:29 left to play in the first quarter.
And Jay, correction there, that was number 58, Kellen Banks on the punt right there.
Ball is down by number 13, Daniel Drada.
Jesse starting out at the 36 this time. His team trailing by 6 after that touchdown strike he threw just about 5 minutes ago. Up the middle with Barfield and spinning his way close to the 30-yard line.
Number 7 there's kind of got a little unorthodox kind of running style. They're kind of stand straight up and kind of slide side to side and falls forward. So I haven't really seen if he's got breakaway speed, but he does have that unorthodox kind of running up the hole there and kind of moving side to side in the holes.
Barfield at 6 foot 176. I think, at that height, you still got to be a little cautious of running that way too.
I'm sure he fumbled earlier in the game already. He was the one that had the fumble as well.
Inside the 50-second mark, West with a couple more chances for a play here in the first quarter. and they will line up with a man in motion out of the pistol once more. Jesse going off the screen to the left side and has his receiver down the sideline and well into Smoky Bear territory inside the red zone. And that is number 6. That is 6 Cord on the reception. Tackle made by Gavin Jocelyn for Sevier County. And his father, Brian, was actually the one that was on with us earlier for his birthday. So has to be good to certainly see his son make a big tackle tonight. But West with a big first down inside the 15. So 13-7, the Rebels trying to take their first lead of the night. Up the middle, and Barfield will work his way close to the 5-yard line.
Right, Latham on the carry, tackled by number 43, Jared Hawkins, and number 48, Stephen Kane.
Now they're in the red zone, Jake, so they start running the ball more often, or if they get it out wide here. I'll look to do a couple play action here. I think they still throw pretty heavily down here in the red zone. Uh-oh.
Up the middle again, touchdown, Rebels. Braden Latham on the carry, and it is too easy. The Rebels tie this thing up just like that.
Here comes the light show.
13-13. And after the missed PAT earlier from Sevier County, West with a chance to take its first lead of the evening. The kick is up, and West has its first lead of the night, 14-13, with 3.7 seconds left in the first quarter. And what a first quarter this has been.
Yeah, back and forth, Jake. A lot of big plays. Smoky Bears hitting first there with 2 quick scores. Then Knox West stayed calm and came back. We're running the football in. 2 big throws there from their quarterback, number 18. We got a football game here, Jake.
That we do, and that touchdown brought to you by Claybo's Express Shine. Visit them in Pigeon Forge, and we will take a quick break. 14-13 in favor of the Rebels here on Sutherland Avenue on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
And we're back here at Bill Wilson Field. West sending a booming kick close to the 5-yard line, and Sevier County set to take it up the middle. And that will mark the end of the first quarter. The Smoky Bears will get it close to the 25-yard line when the second quarter starts. Colin Shannon and company trailing by 1 point after the touchdown run from number 14, Braden Latham of the West Rebels. West obviously with that 32-yard strike for their first score off Carson Jesse, as West stayed cool, calm, and collected in response to a very fast and very impressive Sevier County start.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job of staying poised there a little bit, but seeing the Smoky Bears and their prolific offense too, it's going to be a back and forth game. We talked about it in the pregame and how I thought Smoky Bears might have some points scored against them tonight, but it's what are they going to do when points get scored again? They come back and keep the score close and keep up with the points on the board.
Carson Jesse at quarterback for the Rebels has been great tonight, but it will be Colin Shannon coming back out for Sevier County. His team starting out from his own 25-yard line with a loaded backfield on first down to start this second quarter. Shannon again going to throw and has a connection out on the perimeter. And credits number 1, Jocelyn, on the reception, out to close to the 35-yard line.
I feel like Shannon's doing a good job of throwing that ball with a great aggressiveness, but also poise. He's on the mark. He seems very accurate tonight.
Shannon on on first down again. Up the middle and smeared. Nothing going that time for the Smoky Bear rushing attack. Jace Henderson on the carry, and he did not get much.
You got to throw a couple runs in there, Jake, kind of make it to where they can get the defense off the heels a little bit. But at the same time, they've been very successful throwing the football, so they'll go back here.
Third down here for Sevier County, and up the middle for a first down.
Great play
Henderson
there.
on another carry, and number 4 is running strong for the Smoky Bears tonight. That first down brought to you by Squisito New York Pizza and Pasta.
Here we go, back to pass, Shannon.
Throw has Mason Ellis on the perimeter. Ellis with some blockers, trying to shed a couple, and gets close to the 50-yard line.
Got another flag down here, Jake.
Might have been a late hit there on number 40, Isaac Bolivar, the big linebacker for the Rebels. And it will be a hold on Sevier County. Nothing going the Smoky Bears' way on penalties so far tonight.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Keep them in the game, ref!
Ball is brought back to the 31-yard line.
Brings up another first down for Colin Shannon. Todd Loveday in his first season at Sevier County, trying to get a marquee win here in West Knoxville against the undefeated Rebels.
Got a long first down here, Jake.
First and 20 for Sevier County. And Shannon set to throw. Can't go anywhere, brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And a host of blue jerseys there on the tackle. Noah Geiger leading the way. And another flag on the field. We'll see what it is this time.
We've got an unsportsmanlike penalty on West.
Unsportsmanlike on the Rebels. A little bit of confusion there, I think, on the West sideline as they are exchanging personnel. And West coming out close to the 44-yard line. 9:57 left to play in the second quarter. And West with a 14-13 lead that they claimed just before the end of that first period. Colin Shannon with a fresh set of downs after the unsportsmanlike. And he will throw over the middle, and Corbin Overbay on the reception across the 50.
Great pitch and catch there by number 14, Overbay. And Shannon, again, just right on the money, man. Looking up, looking poised, not staring down his receivers. He's just having a fabulous game so far to start out this one.
Shannon, as mentioned, with 584 passing yards, or excuse me, with 529 passing yards so far this season. Expounding on that tonight so far as he hits Overbay again on the right sideline. And Overbay works his way across the 45 near our booth here in the visitors' bleachers at Knoxville West.
Yeah, another great strike there that worked the ball up the field there. That penalty gets him another first down and gets him moving up the field, but at the same time, two great strikes there. I think they're definitely calling his number tonight. We saw a big run game last week. We're definitely seeing a different type of offense here tonight.
Another loaded backfield here for Shannon. Second down. Pump moves up in the pocket and wrestled down close to the 48-yard line. Seemed like the senior, as much as we've seen his poise tonight, took a little too long in letting that play develop.
Yeah, you usually see a pump fake, Jake. You usually see a big bomb, but I think he was double covered downfield. He was trying just to move some of the defenders there a little bit. They didn't move. See a little shot there.
Brings up third down for Colin Shannon. And it will be third and, I believe, 10 for the senior quarterback. Shannon gonna run, and he is wrestled down and credit big number 74 for West. That is Kyle Collins on the stop. He just grabbed a hold of Shannon's jersey and held on to the sack.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go there, but he did start using his legs there a little bit until he got wrapped up there. They might even go for it here, Jake. I'm thinking about it here.
An early 4th down decision for Todd Loveday. And looks like they're trying to get the play call in. And it will be a timeout on the field taken by Sevier County. And we will take it with them. We'll be right back. 14-13 in favor of the Rebels here on Sutherland Avenue in Knoxville.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides...
4th down for the Sevier County Smoky Bears. They'll boot it away to the Rebels. And if you're just joining us here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week, I'm Jake Nichols, joined by Chris Blevins. And boy, have we got a fantastic one so far. 14-13 in favor of the Rebels here in West Knoxville. Sevier County jumping out to an early 13-0 lead, but then West poised and collected, coming back late in that first quarter to make this quite a ball game. Credit Colin Shannon with plenty of early heroics for the Smoky Bears after they came off a block punt to move quickly down the field for that first score, and he has been on fire tonight. But right now it's Carson Jessie's football for the Rebels. And it will be, I believe, another timeout.
Timeout, Sevier County.
Another one for the Smoky Bears. And that one is a quick one by Todd Loveday. We'll take it with them. 14-13 again in favor of the Rebels here in Knoxville.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
And we're back here at Knoxville West. And we're back here at Knoxville West. The Rebels with a 14-13 lead over Sevier County. 7 minutes left to play in the half. And Carson Jessie trying to put his offense on the move. Ron Barfield on the carry that time. That's 2 straight carries for number 7, and he gets out close to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they may be trying to run some clock here, Jake, and try to get out of this first half here with a lead here after a bad start. They are starting to mix in a lot of runs with it, and they're using that deep pass as well.
3rd and 2 here for the Rebels in their own territory. territory would be a big stop here for Sevier County. Jesse up the middle, and Barfield is stuck. And credit to Smoky Bears with a big stop there on 3rd down, especially courtesy of number 53. That is Garrett, number 53, Jake Tipton, and then Garrett Hawkins in on the play as well late. So Burt set to kick again, and Overbay set to receive for Sevier County.
No false starts here, Jake, at 3rd and 2.
4th down and short. That punt blocked as well, and Sevier County will let it roll. And Colin Shannon, for yet another time tonight, will get the football inside his opponent's 50-yard line. And that punt blocked partially by Mason Ellis. And it will be Sevier County football.
Yeah, he got another block.
What can you say about the Sevier County special teams tonight? They have been on fire.
Well, he came free right there. Was nobody even to block him. I think he had to actually be careful about not roughing the punter right there. That's why he didn't get a clean block, because he was so far, almost past him.
And I think that's going to be a big point of emphasis in the film room for Lamar Brown next week, is making sure you solidify those blocks on punt team, because they have had a couple miscues there tonight already. 14-13 though in favor of the Rebels with 5:07 left to play in the 2nd quarter. Colin Shannon at quarterback again for Sevier County. And he has done a stellar job so far tonight with pinpoint accuracy.
We'll see what he has here. A little stoppage of play. They'll be checking the clock there. I'm not sure, but here we go back to the action here. And I'm sure they'll go back to the air here with Shannon being as sharp as he has been tonight.
3 wide receivers to the near side. And Shannon will throw. On the perimeter to Mason Ellis, and Ellis with room to work, lowering his shoulder close to the 35-yard line, and a nice hit there made for the Rebels by number 5, Brock Hatcher. Brings up a 1st and 10 though for Sevier County. That first down brought to you by Esposito to New York Pizza and Pasta. Ball on the 38 with Sevier County moving the football steadily inside the 5-minute mark in this first half.
Let's go back to the air here, Jake, again.
Shannon going to throw once more out to Overbay, who's got some blockers, and gets across the 35.
Doing a great job, Jake, of getting that ball to their playmakers so far. Shannon's not even having to second guess himself, getting right to the hands of them, and getting right up the field here. They're putting a lot of pressure on West here. Let's see if they can punch it in here, but I'd look for a couple of shots in the end zone here on this next couple plays.
Sevier County set up with a 2nd down deep in Rebel territory. Shannon laces one out to Justin Walker, who gets the 1st down and more. And another flag on the Smoky Bears. That one looked a little late.
Definitely a little late.
Loveday making his voice heard with this officiating crew in Knoxville. (14-13) in favor of the Rebels, and Sevier County going through all it can handle so far tonight. Clad section here below us in the bleachers at Knoxville West.
It's 1st and 10.
And it will bring up another 1st down for Sevier County. The ball now at the 38 after it looked like they had moved inside the red zone for yet another time today. 4 minutes and counting left in this first half. Sevier County trailing by 1 point. Shannon Going deep, no, shoved down in the backfield. And a major sack there by number 25, Demarion Jackson. No one there to stop him.
Yeah, they brought the pressure right there and had nowhere to go with the football again, which happened a couple times tonight, but at the same time, they have to get the ball out of his hands. They've been doing a really good job of, so not technically give him a sack there, but they got to get the ball out of his hands.
Brings up second down here for Shannon. Ball on the 46. As mentioned, Sevier County trailing 14-13 here against the Rebels. Every touchdown so far tonight in the first quarter and this second quarter has been all defense.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Shannon rolling right, fires down the sideline, and incomplete.
They'll call it a catch.
Actually, yes, they will call it a catch. Thought it hit the ground, but they will call it a grab for Corbin Overbay to bring up a third down here for Sevier County. Inside 3 minutes left to play in this first half, and the Smoky Bears trying to regain a lead before they go in the locker room.
Yeah, it'll be a big 3rd and 7 right here. They definitely have it in the playbook, Jake. So they can keep the quarterback safe here on this play here. They calling changing the play here, changing the play.
Shannon stepping up to audible, and he's going to go deep. Saw something he liked, and Corbin Overbay down the sideline, incomplete. And Shannon
Number 9 is holding.
Thought that he had Corbin Overbay, but it will be incomplete. The ball in and out of the hands there.
Number 9 is holding.
And if you can hear through our microphones here, the Sevier County fans certainly protesting some of the officiating here in Knoxville as Cooper Shimlock was the
go for here.
back there. Sevier County going for it on 4th down. Shannon rolling left. Gonna fire and incomplete over the head of his intended target, Mason Ellis, and it will be a turnover on downs. West's gonna get it back with just over 2 minutes left in the first half.
And that was probably the first incomplete pass I think I've seen him throw all night. With a bad time to come on a 4th down play as he rolls out there, rolling away to his offhand, which is a hard throw anyways. But a couple bad, he had an open receiver down there. He overthrows him a little bit there. He might have it there, but overall, just trying to get there in the end zone, trying to go out of here. But now with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter here, let's see if Knox West can capitalize on that 4th down stop.
Carson Jesse back out behind center, and he will roll right. And he is met by a host of Smoky Bears smeared back at the 28-yard line.
There's nobody open downfield right there, Jake, which is a great job by the defense. Held to the ball a little bit, might be wanting to throw away a little bit. Now he takes a sack and the time's still running.
Inside 2 minutes left to play in the first half, with Sevier County trailing 14-13 here in Knoxville. Jesse on 2nd down and long after the sack. Going to go on a quick screen, and up the middle goes Bradfield, and Bradfield reversing course, and third down at the 30-yard line again. Sevier County with a big stop, not letting number 7 get out of their sight. What a stop for Gavin Jocelyn. He is having a game tonight on his father's birthday.
Yeah, what a great play right there. He kind of stayed home there, Jake, as he came across back the field and met him right there and made a big play right there for the Smoky Bears.
And I think, Chris, that was a perfect example, if you're a coach, of why you want your running back not to dance too much either.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it makes for exciting football, but sometimes it can put you in a bad situation right there. That didn't work out too good for him.
Brings up 3rd down and long here for Knoxville West. Jesse going to throw once more. Almost flushed out of the pocket, deep over the middle, and incomplete. 3 white jerseys there to break it up. And some great defense so far for Sevier County. And it brings up an injured Rebel on the play. That is 6 Ford, who will jog back after being shaken up.
Jake, I think right there is a good job of holding their flag in the pocket right there. They threw a lot of flags tonight, but that was great defense. Actually, 3 white players hit each other to break that play up, so there was no pass interference. A great job by the referee on that play not to throw a flag.
4th down here for the Rebels. And a timeout on the field. Sevier County with a nice stand here, 46 seconds left in the half. 14-13 in favor of Knoxville West. And we will be back. You can hear the noise here from the Sevier County crowd. They like what they see so far in Knoxville. We'll be right back.
All those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
And we bring you back to Bill Wilson Field, home of the Rebels of West High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins on the call with you tonight for Week 5 of the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Sevier County and West currently in a fantastic 5A battle, 14-13 so far in favor of the Rebels. All 4 of those touchdowns scored in the first quarter, as it has been a defensive stalemate through the second 12 minutes. Inside the 40-second mark before the end of the first half, and we'll see if Colin Shannon can punch one more in before this clock expires to go to the locker room. Shannon going over the middle and has a receiver down the left sideline for a quick reception.
And he got out of bounds too. Stop the clock.
So Sevier County, they've been hurry up all night, but you've got to move it even faster here and try to get in the end zone or try to get some points here before the break.
Yeah, and Smoky Bears have 1 timeout left, so they can get outside and save that timeout. They'll have to keep it.
1st and 10, Shannon going to throw, has Corbin Overbay, and Overbay smeared by number 9, Cooper Shimlock, but it's whistled down before he could go anywhere.
Almost a little late hit there, Jay, but I guess, didn't blow the whistle yet, but looks like they touched the ball, touched the ground there on the pass.
Yeah, Chris Shimlock has been able to do quite a bit tonight over on that right side for the West defense. Sevier County now set up with a 2nd down and 10. Shannon going to throw again and has a receiver once more. Mason Freeman is across the 50 for the Sevier County Smoky Bears.
This is what's nice having a quarterback like this, Jay, that can control the offense, watching the clock, doing a good job. They're getting out of bounds. Maybe they can at least get in field goal range here.
So I know it's commonplace, but Sevier County to do no huddle and to do this hurry up has done a great job, especially with Colin Shannon at the helm. Going to the right side again, tagging Overbay, and Overbay out across the 40-yard line inside West territory once more.
And he got out of bounds again, Jake. What a great play there.
16 seconds left to play in the half. Sevier County trailing 14-13 against West and trying to tack on a couple more here before going into the locker room.
Not sure if they take a couple shots here to the end zone, Jake, or just set up more for a field goal here. I see him warming up here, number 58 here for Sevier County here. A couple of field goals here, but maybe a couple shots here to the end zone possibly.
Shannon trying to go deep. Has a connection down the left sideline.
Got it. Timeout.
Caught inside the 10.
Timeout.
Mason Freeman on the reception, and Sevier County with 9 seconds left can try to punch one in before heading into
The clock doesn't stop, Jake, till they set up the post here, but he's going to try to spike the ball. 7 seconds.
And with 7 seconds left, Colin Shannon with enough time to maybe get 1 or 2 plays, and it looks like Todd Loveday will call his final timeout of the half. And what a job of time management there for Sevier County, getting out of bounds on every single play there when they needed to. And with 7 seconds left before the half, they've got an opportunity to take a lead into the locker room against one of the best 5A teams in the state right now.
Yeah, one of the things you got to think about, Jake, right here is when you play this next play here, it can't be on the ground unless you're going to score a touchdown. It has to be a ball thrown to the end zone or incomplete pass, because you have no timeouts left. And that way, if you don't score here, the opportunity to get a field goal and still take the lead before halftime. So look to get the ball in the end zone or to take a risk and try to run the ball. I don't think so with Colin Shannon being so sharp tonight. So we'll see what play they go with here out of this timeout. Here with 7 seconds to go.
As mentioned, 7 seconds left before the half. And what a job so far tonight for the Sevier County Smoky Bears. We have had quite a game. The Smoky Bears punched in the first 2 scores after a hot start off a fake punt. And then West, cool, calm, and collected, came punching back to end the first quarter. And as mentioned before, we have been in a defensive gridlock here in the second quarter. Shannon trying to end that here before halftime. And now Lamar Brown wants to talk. We will take a quick break and be back with what should be the final 2 plays of the first half here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want 1 or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Here at Bill Wilson Field at at Knoxville West High School. Sevier County trying to punch one into the end zone or at least tack on some points before the half against the Rebels. Shannon in the shotgun. Going deep and flung down in the backfield.
Halftime.
West with a big stop to end the first half, and that will send the Rebels into the locker room on a high note, 14-13 in favor of Knoxville West. And credit number 15, Ryan Scott with the stop.
Yeah, you got to at least throw the ball away there, Jake. Give yourself a chance. He tucked it again, took a big shot there, too. I hope he's okay. He limped off the field here, but he took a big shot there. Looks like they're having a big talk down there about the referee there.
Todd Loveday does not like what he has.
Bad call at the forward pass.
Official.
Forward pass.
Forward pass to end the half. Should have been incomplete, I think. And maybe giving Sevier County another shot. Loveday conferencing with the official right now at the 20-yard line, trying to plead his case. Meanwhile, the Rebels have all filed into the locker room.
And Lamar Brown back on the field here. It's going to be a big caller here, Jake.
Looked like they did put 2 seconds back on the clock for a moment and then took it off. Sevier County, with all their players still on the field, waiting for Loveday's questioning, and it will be dismissed. Sevier County heading to the locker room amidst a chorus of boos for the officiating here in Knoxville, but some loud cheers still for the Smoky Bears, who are hanging tight with the West Rebels in Knoxville, 14-13, and a fantastic ball game so far here on Sutherland Avenue.
Yeah, I don't think Loveday's happy at all there. I think he's right. I think he did definitely throw the ball forward there a little bit. I think he's correct on that. There is no replay here, though, in high school football, unfortunately. But I think that's a tough call there, and it could cost him the game either way. Because that could have been 3 points off the board right there for him.
And Todd Loveday certainly with a tough row to hoe here in Knoxville. You can see he's still talking with his assistant coaches heading toward the locker room. But again, a fantastic ball game so far here in Knoxville, and we will take a quick break here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. When we come back, you will get some band action and then later some halftime analysis before we kick off the second half between the West Rebels and the Sevier County Smoky Bears.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Representing the sophomore class, Biden Asti, escorted by Lance Asti.
One courtesy of Hawkins.
Ariana Kennedy, escorted by Dewan Marshall.
I believe it was to Ruben Overbay, but a very quick start for Sevier County.
Malaya Matthews, escorted by Henry Foster Coleman.
That led to a 13-0 lead after the first 6 minutes of action.
Mary Davis Spencer, escorted by Margaret Spencer.
Staying poised and composed as the Bar Browns team.
And now, representing the junior class, Annie Hodge, escorted by Emily Adams.
Stalemate here in the second quarter, 14-13 at
Shannon Stroud, escorted by the Maria Curry.
County had gotten inside the
Elena
line.
Venable, escorted by Quentin Venable.
And then Colin Shannon, the Sevier County quarterback, tried to
Ella Wright, escorted by Anderson
Anderson,
It looked like he might have gotten all the way, would have got a forward pass, but they ended up ruling it
and
down.
now representing the senior class,
Sevier County stayed up
Ava Burton, escorted by Javon Bogus.
I think several tough calls tonight, but
Ava Cavazos, escorted by Jarius Todd.
He's got a fantastic number, 14-13 in favor of West here at the half, and hopefully
Katie Chataway, escorted by Paul Chataway.
What's up?
And Aaliyah Sluder, escorted by Sam Ray.
I don't know. I think it'll end up being a closer one than I expected. You know, I thought that West would come in and have a little more control than they did. But, you know, credit to Sevier County. I mean, Colin Chandler came out looking sharp.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a hand to all these representatives. Your freshman princess is Kelly Knox.
So we have seen a lot of great football tonight from both quarterbacks.
Your sophomore princess is Mary Davis Spencer.
All right, sounds good, buddy.
Your junior princess is Elena Venable. And your senior princess is Katie Chataway. You've all been waiting for. Your 2021 Homecoming Queen, Ava Burton. Please welcome to the field the 2021 West High Marching Band. Directors are Rodney Brown and Sade Rakestraw. Color guard instructor is Laura Davis. The staff includes Zach Slip, Aaron Brown, James Perez, Olivia Howland, Brittany Bitter, Olivia Watson, and Rowan Persari. The West Band is under the field command of drum major Abby Steele. Our leadership team is Benny Ramirez, Olivia Harris, Joshua Washington, Ava Cohen, Ruby Weddick, Claire Werner, Emily Frost, Ainsley Bieber, Amara Fernandez, Allie Majors, and Aliyah Scheidt. The West Band will perform their 2021 show entitled Chicago 1930, featuring the music of Duke Ellington and Cab Calloway. Tonight's featured soloists are Joshua Washington, Benny Ramirez, Olivia Harris, and Aaron Norris. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 West Level Marching Band.
got back just in time.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Welcome back to our Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins on the call with you from Knoxville West. And before we get rolling for the second half, I want to remind you to check out our YouTube channel, YHSS The Zone, to check in with Roddy Woods and everything you need to know for football across the Southeast. We're giving you scores, we're giving you updates, we're giving you insight, courtesy of Roddy, for all the action across the state of Tennessee and in the games in a few other states as well. And now back to the action here at Bill Wilson Field. 14-13 in favor of the West Rebels. Sevier County trying to knock off one of the premier 5A teams in the state of Tennessee. West 4-0 on the season so far. Can they get to 5-0? Well, that is up to Colin Shannon and Sevier County. Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins on the call with you for the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. And real quick, want to be sure and thank some of our fantastic sponsors. Buddy's Barbecue, Claybo's Express Shine Car Wash, Krispy Kreme Donuts, and Sevier County Electric System, the power behind your community. Buddy's Barbecue gives us a great meal every week. Call them at 865-428-5001. And be sure and visit them on Tuesdays for that $6.99 special that you don't want to miss.
We'll start the second half with Sevier
The
County.
Alewind Pottery, find them on channel 196. Find them in Gatlinburg or on Wares Valley Road in Sevierville. And Riverstone Resort and Spa, the finest resort in the Smokies if you need to relax, which, given the way this game has gone so far, I imagine Todd Loveday and Lamar Brown will both need to do. And, of course, Blades Salon, find them on Sandpike Boulevard in Pigeon Forge. We will have a cut of the week. And, Chris, I have yet to see one that may qualify as that cut of the week, but hopefully we will get it soon. Set to tee it up to start this second half from Bill Wilson Field at 3300 Sutherland Avenue. The West Rebels 4-0 on the season so far. And as mentioned, can they get to 5-0? Well, Sevier County might have something to say about it. Here we go to start this second half in Knoxville. Corbin Overbay takes it deep in his own territory and shoved down quickly at the 16-yard line. And that is where Colin Shannon will set up shop to start this second half. Shannon with 84 yards to go to pay dirt on this first drive of the third quarter. Chris, that should be no problem given what we saw from him in those first two quarters.
Yeah, let's see what we can do here on this first possession here, but he started out really hot last on the first half there, and I know Colin, is probably really pumped up for the second half here. They had a bad ending to the first half there at that little sack there, not being able to get points on the board here. So let's see if they come out here with that same energy they had in the first half and get down the field here.
And you've got to also hope that they can maintain that energy given some questionable calls that we've seen so far as well, because there have been a few. First and 10 for Sevier County, trailing 14-13 to start this second half in Knoxville. As Shannon will hand off up the middle, and Jace Henderson with a nice carry out to the 34-yard line. Henderson moving the chains for a quick first down, brought to you by Squisito 2, New York Pizza and Pasta. And Henderson bulldozing ahead on first down. We'll see if they give it to him again, but he is quite a load for that Sevier County backfield. And they do. Henderson off left tackle. No, it's Shannon who takes it and stuffed quickly.
And Jake right there, we saw a lot of Henderson last week. We know he can run the football here. That might be a game plan for this second half here to wear down that Knox West defense and then pull out the pass there, because Shannon had such a good first half. I don't think you got to get away from that pass there. I think they need to make sure they get Shannon in some good, easy throws to the side they did on the first half there and going to the end of the first half. But let's see if Shannon can get the ball throwing here again. They got 3 out to his right.
As you said, easy throws on the perimeter is what they went with in that first half. They do it again here over the middle. And Gavin Drassman across the 50-yard line. And number 1 has had a great game tonight. As mentioned, his father was on with us in pregame for his birthday, Brian, and he is watching quite a spectacle with his son balling out here in Knoxville.
Yeah, what an awesome birthday gift that must be. An exciting time for high school and parents out here. What an awesome time, and thank you for joining us there at the beginning there of the show we had there. But man, Colin Shannon with another sharp pass there, and I think they got to stick with that a little bit, but also mixing the run in here as they got Lane there to his backfield.
Bryson Lane up the middle this time, charging ahead with plenty of room and a head full of steam across the 40-yard line. Bryson Lane getting back to his old ways from what we saw last week. And a nice block there from Justin Walker in the thick of it as well.
Definitely going up the field here, Jake here, mixing a little run in here. I look for a deep pass here. Play action here in a minute after this. There we go back to the long.
Shannon going to go to Walker this time, and out close to the 30-yard line.
They did that a ton of times in the first half, Jake. They definitely see something in that defense there of getting them out wide, throwing those little short little passes to the side.
And it's interesting that they're picking on the Rebels defense so much, or the Rebels defensive backs, I should say, trying to get it on the perimeter, because their defensive backs coach was the one coach on staff here at West that was present for that state championship back in 2014.
Oh, definitely so. Just real quick, Jake, I want to thank everybody on Facebook right now, watching us right now. I want to say hi to somebody back home, Michael Thompson there. Thank you for watching, Michael, and I hope you're enjoying tonight's game, and everybody for watching. Thank you for sharing this video. We got a great one here in Knoxville tonight, Jake.
Ball on the 32 for Sevier County, 9:01 left to play in the third quarter. And the Smoky Bears trailing 14-13, lining up with a loaded backfield, and Garrett Hawkins blasting for an easy first down. And Chris, that is a recipe for success for sure. Give it to big number 43 out of the backfield, and you have practically guaranteed yourself a first down.
Oh, definitely so. Here as we have a hurt Rebel here on the field. Can't see his number real quick, so we take a brief time out here, take on an injured player for the Rebels.
We'll be back with more 14-13 right now in favor of West on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Demarion Jackson, the injured Rebel on the play, but thankfully he jogged off, looked to be unscathed. First down here for Sevier County inside the 30, and Jace Henderson with a carry up the middle and works his way across the 20.
He's definitely a beast. We know he can run the football. He's a hard load to take down. He runs downhill, and that's about all he knows how to do, and he'll take some people with him.
Brings up another first down for the Smoky Bears. That first down brought, or excuse me, that will be a second down. It'll be second and short here for Sevier County. Thought that Henderson had gotten the first down, but they'll mark him 1 yard short. 7:55 and counting left here in the third quarter. Sevier County trailing by 1 point, but trying to tack something on here. Shannon off the right side to Overbay, and Overbay getting that big body close to the 15-yard line for another first down.
I'll take that all night, Jay. Take that twice on Sundays. You know, don't play on Sunday or Fridays, but Shannon's doing a good job on throwing that little out route there. They're getting a lot from it. That's opening up the run up the middle there. They're using Henderson there. I look for them again. They talked about late there in the second quarter there, throwing the ball here in the end zone here, looking for some good passes here. They cut across or slant down the middle.
7:30 and counting left here in the third quarter. Sevier County trailing by 1 point. Ball on the 15 for Colin Shannon with a first down. Hand off the right side as they will dive ahead. And I believe that was Hawkins on the carry. And, you know, Hawkins, I admire the idea to go off right tackle there, but I feel like Hawkins is best served whenever you can just punch him up the gut.
Oh, for sure. But they also got a mixture of people in there. Now they got in Lane back there, throwing in some receivers there. You just don't know where you can get it, but I definitely see some mixing in of the pass, plus also throwing in that run. They're doing a really good job of that here in their first possession here.
Second down for Sevier County. Ball on the 14. I believe it's 2nd and 9 here for Colin Shannon, who will throw as Justin Walker, who slices inside the 5-yard line before being tackled by a couple Rebels. And credit Walker with a nice route there. And Shannon hit him on the hit. That first down brought to you by Rosito 2 New York Pizza and Pasta. And the Smoky Bears changing personnel here. Chris, I believe they're going to try to load it up.
Yeah, well, here's
close to the goal line.
The next part about this drive, Jake, is look at the clock. I mean, we're under 6 minutes here, the third quarter already, and we started way down here on the other end. They're doing a great job of time management, plus doing this. Now they're going to run the ball.
With
fullback.
Hawkins up the middle, no, they're going to run the fullback and stuff quickly.
Now let's mix it up there a little bit, Jake. I think that's okay. I got to mix it up here on the 4 or 5 yard line here. But I think, you know, number 4, Henderson, I think he's asking for the ball right here. I think he just made a little signal over there, and they're going to make sure they give him the ball here.
Ball on the 5, no gain. And second down with a loaded backfield. Up the middle again with Hawkins. And he will get inside the 5.
Henderson on the carry.
Oh, it's Henderson, excuse me, again on the carry.
Tackled by number 35, Noah Geiger.
Will give Sevier County. They are quite deceptive with that backfield, but we'll see if they can spread it out here on third down. Not much success into the teeth of that Rebel defense. Up the middle again with Hawkins, and not much to gain on third down either.
Jared Hawkins, Smith.
Now we got a 4th down, Jake. They're going to go for it, or are they going to take a field goal?
Possible gain of 1. 4th and goal at the 2.
And it is 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. A heavy decision here for Todd Loveday, trailing by 1. And the Smoky Bears will go for it. The offense staying on the field. A monumental play here on 4th and goal. Hawkins, no, Shannon rolling out.
Touchdown. What a play.
A brilliant play action dialed up on 4th and goal from Todd Loveday, and it gets 6.
What a great play call right there, Jake. I mean, what a 4th down play to come to. Maybe went to it earlier, but man, what a great pitch and catch there by Shannon. Hit the ball really well in the play action, threw it right over the top there. Great catch for the touchdown. Smokey Dares in the end zone.
Jace Henderson on the reception, and Sevier County takes a 5-point lead, but no, they go for it on the conversion and recovered going the other way. West makes the stop, but that is a very interesting call on the PAT. Trying to go for it on the 2-point conversion, but that little toss did not work.
Well, Jake, they're only at 5 there, so I see why they're going for it there. Honestly, I think they probably should just set up and throw for a 2-point conversion. They have Shannon there in the backfield. Not really sure why that happens there.
If you've had that kind of success, you know, then you've got to be able to go to your playmaker, and I think that's what they should have done there. But again, hindsight is 20/20. So you score 19-14 in favor of Sevier County, and we will see if the missed PAT on that first touch or on that second touchdown of the night, and then that missed 2-point conversion will come back to bite the Smoky Bears.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have put the offense on the field. They're going to go for it. But I totally understand why they're going for 2, but should have kept the offense out there. But nevertheless, they're up by 5 points. What a great drive there. Took a lot of time off the clock there. Let's see how the Smoky Bears defense holds up against Knox West here. We got a tight ball game here with the Smoky Bears up 19-14 in the 3rd quarter with 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go.
Sevier County with the kick and a little bit of a pooch there. And West will take it inside its own 30-yard line, setting things up for Carson Jesse close to the 35.
Number 26, Connor Mason. Ball is at the 36-yard line.
4:10 left to play in the 3rd quarter, and we have got a good one in Knoxville. If you're just joining us, Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins with you for the Your High School Sports Game of the Week in Week 5 at Knoxville West. A fantastic matchup so far. Colin Shannon has been absolutely phenomenal so far tonight for the Smoky Bears. But Carson Jesse trying to do the same for the West Rebels. And right now, it is Bradfield up the middle, stuffed down close to the 45-yard line. Excuse me, Barfield on the carry. Sounds like there's a defensive change being made for the Smoky Bears. And on comes number 70, Andy Montoya. First down for Jesse. He hands off to Barfield again. Barfield slammed down the backfield. Not going anywhere thanks to that Sevier County defensive line.
Yeah, great hit right there. He took some shots tonight in the backfield, number 7 for the Rebels there. He's, again, a elusive running back, but takes a lot of big shots the way he sidesteps in there in the holes and can have that breakaway speed that we talked about earlier, but took a big shot there again.
Close to 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. Jesse going deep, unleashes down the right side.
Interception.
Sevier County needs a huge hit.
14.
Number 14, Corbin Overbay with a monumental interception.
Got a touchdown tonight and an interception tonight.
Right now, I think you can throw out the rankings, throw out the undefeated. Sevier County came to play some football.
Oh, they definitely came to play football. They're playing really, really well against Knox West. But he threw a duck there on that play. I think he had a receiver open there, but he threw a duck and it just laid out there. What a great interception there by Overbay.
And credit Sevier County's pass rush as well. They got in Jesse's face on that one.
For sure. See what Shannon has again here is they have really held this ball almost the whole 3rd quarter.
First down and 10 for the senior quarterback, rolling right, going for the throw, and got a receiver at the 50.
Man, Colin Shannon had a wide open number 2 down the middle of the field. Just missed him there, Jake. He was wide open. Maybe go back and see that on the film there, but he had him wide open. He did a good play there, but we got a flag down here on the play. It's going to be holding.
Couldn't take it, could you, Ralph?
2:48 left to play in the third quarter.
Downfield against Sevier County.
And yet another penalty on the Smoky Bears.
It's 1st and 15.
Ball on the 26, first down and 15 yards to go for Colin Shannon. In the backfield. And he will hand off up the middle. Jace Henderson on the carry. Muddles through the West defensive line, but he won't get much.
Tackle by number 37, Aiden Vaughn for the Rebels.
Brings up second down, for the Smoky Bear offense.
2nd and 13.
2:06 and counting left to play in the third quarter. Sevier County up by 5. Shannon avoiding the rush, reversing course, and tugged down. And Isaac Bowen there with the stop.
Loss of 2 on the play. Back to 3rd and 15.
Isaac Bolivar just chased Colin Shannon down like he had stolen something. My goodness, what a stop.
Yeah, what a big stop right there. And, obviously, should have got through the ball there a little bit too, but held onto it all night. Good thing he didn't fumble, but let's see what he's got here on 3rd down.
Third and 11 for Colin Shannon. And a handoff up the middle. Garrett Hawkins will get maybe 1.
I'll bring up 4th down there.
Bronson Lane on the carry.
Or excuse me,
Stop that drive, Ralph!
Tackle by number 15, Ryan Scott.
And Sevier County will punt it away.
There will be 4th down and 12.
Kellen Banks set to kick it away for Sevier County.
He's got a big leg on him, Jake. We've seen a couple punts here. Hopefully gets it off clean here.
Banks to punt.
Jaquarius Wren set to receive for the Rebels. Wren takes it inside his own 40.
Man, what a great pickup.
Close to the 50. And great punt return there for the Smoky Bears as Colin Jesse will start at midfield.
Jake, when that ball hit the ground, it was rolling fast. I mean, he got really lucky. He picked that ball up, but a great job of picking it up. But what a bounce there for Sevier County. But man, what even better job by Knox there to pick that ball up. That would have easily been a fumble or go past him. One of the ones you probably let go normally.
Carson Jesse set up with a fresh set of downs just under the W West logo here at Bill Wilson Field. Barfield up the middle, and we'll get across midfield, step quickly. That may be the last play of the third quarter. And that will be it. We head to the fourth in a tight one, 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. The Smoky Bears trying to spoil the West Rebels' undefeated record in 2021. Can they hold on? We will find out when we come back. You're watching your high school sports game of the week in week 5 in Knoxville.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want 1 or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
back at Bill Wilson Field, start of the fourth quarter, as Braden Latham just got a nice carry up the middle to start the final period. He beat the turf in frustration. Looked like he thought he could have broken it that time, but as it stands, it will bring up a first down for the Rebels. That first down brought to you by Esposito New York Pizza and Pasta. 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. The Rebels trying to keep their undefeated season alive here in Knoxville. Carson Jesse going deep over the middle. Got a receiver, incomplete over Sheila. To get a flag on the play, no call, but that one is questionable.
Jake, that call came from 20 yards behind the play there. I don't know what he saw. He's calling a grab, it looks like, but it looks like the ball is also uncatchable. It probably did the uncatchable ball as well. That was not a hold. Been some tough calls on Sevier County tonight, but that ball had to be uncatchable nonetheless. But they're going to call another pass interference. Not sure where they're seeing that.
As fans reminded me, 4 essential plays for Sevier County that have been negated by penalties tonight. West with a first down inside the 30-yard line. Jesse giving up the middle and off left tackle. A quick carry there by Braden Latham. So Sevier County has been bitten tonight by several questionable calls. The Smoky Bears trying to defend their own end zone as West is driving, aided by that pass interference call. 10:49 left to play, and the Rebels trailing by 5. Jesse going to throw. Has a receiver off to the left, and it is complete down inside the 15. Aquarius Wren on the reception.
Yeah, but Smoky Bears right there to bring him on the ground. Good job on keeping him in front of him, just taking him down there on the play.
Brings up third down here for Knox West. That play with Wren stopped the clock. 10:37 left to play. A big chance here for the Sevier County defense. 19-14 in favor of the Smoky Bears. What will Lamar Brown dial up? Handoff up the middle, no. Gonna throw over the middle. Incomplete.
That's him for six forward.
He hit number 6 forward. And it will bring up fourth down. A key drop there for the Smoky Bears defense.
Yeah, what a big drop there. They might go for it here, Jake. I'm not sure what they got as far as kickers on the other side, but they may go for this ball.
Yep. And West will go for it. Another monumental play right here. Fourth down for Sevier County. West trying to move the chains, trailing by 5. 19-14.
Low snap.
Snap for Jesse. Rolling right. Gonna run. Jesse inside the 10 at the
fumble.
Fumble on the play. Ooh. And Sevier County might have the football. We will see.
Jesse keeps the ball.
No.
Ball is fumbled on the ground.
Don't mess up, Rip. You got to get him a first.
West recovers.
Some confusion on the play. West with the recovery, but did he get across to get the first down?
Yeah, move it. Scoot it up a little. Move it some more.
I think they may need to measure here. We will see if they do.
They're looking at it. They definitely need to bring the sticks out here and get a good measurement. It's going to be close.
So a fumble recovery, and
here
West
comes the measurement.
still with a chance to move the chains. We will see. And
it's going to be short. It's going to be short. It's going to be short. Short.
And it is short for the County football. A monumental turnover for the Smoky Bear defense. 19-14 in favor of Sevier County.
Got one back.
And the Smoky Bears
got one
get the ball back inside their own 20.
No, but at least you got one there for you there. talking to a fan here, Jake. They just been a big night here on some bad plays there, but Smoky Bears get a big break. They get the football back here. Let's see what Colin Shannon can do and the team here. And Todd Loveday dialed some plays here. They had a big drive on that first and third quarter there. Was over 6 minutes long. They can almost run the clock out here. They have another drive and put some points on the board.
First down for Sevier County at their own 10. 90 yards to pay dirt and 90 yards to possibly putting this one out of reach.
Gotta be careful with the ball hero too.
Power. Handoff up the middle and stuffed.
Go back to that previous play, Jake, when the quarterback there for Knox came out of the pocket there and looked out. He had the football in his left hand, probably way out here, almost on top of his shoulder pad, it looked like. So when he got hit there, the ball popped right out. So, got to take that ball in, but great job by Sevier County getting a big hit on the football with the helmet. I couldn't see who it was. And great there to run that over.
Sevier County trying to drain the clock as much as possible. The play clock now at 20 seconds and the game clock at 9:25. Colin Shannon in the shotgun, going to roll to his left. Incomplete. Trying to hit Gavin Jocelyn on a short route. And it will bring up third down. So another big third down chance here for the West Rebels. 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. Smoky Bears trying to move the chains from inside their own 20 after getting the football back on a fumble turnover on downs. Shannon with two receivers to the near side. Fumbled snap. Shannon racing into the end zone to get it. Flings it out of the end zone. Incomplete. Ooh. Sevier County will punt it away, fortunate to avoid disaster. Again, 19-14 your score. If you're just joining us, Jake Nichols and Chris Blevins on the call with you in Knoxville. And the Smoky Bears have played their guts out tonight against Knox West. The Rebels 4-0 on the season. Sevier County 2-2. As the Smoky Bears will punt it out of their own end zone. Jaquarius Wren set to receive for West.
Great punt.
Takes a Smoky Bear roll and it will go out close to the 50. And that's where Carson Jesse will get the football back. And Chris, before we go any further, thank you to everyone that's tuning in tonight. Thank you for sharing this. And man, if you were watching this one, you're watching a heck of a football game.
Yeah, what a great game tonight. Both teams are playing really hard. The good news is that the game's still up for grabs. It's 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Knox West with the football. Now, Smoky Bears hang on and play good defense and control the football, or Knox West come out and start putting points on the board here. We'll see here as we get late here in the fourth quarter.
9 minutes left to play, 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. Knox West starting inside Smoky Bear territory. Trevon Barfield on the carry, slicing ahead close to the 42.
Not got much going as far as the running game tonight for Knox West. They've kind of shoveled a few people in and out of there. The best part about so far is they've been throwing the football, but the Smoky Bears have been doing a great job of keeping everything in front of them, and they have a couple big plays there, but hopefully here in this next series here, we'll see what both teams have.
Jesse in the pistol for another time tonight, up the middle to Barfield again. Barfield dragging defenders with him and brought down close to the 39.
We're going to have a big third down here.
Like a 40-yard carry that time.
About 3rd and 2 or 3.
And then number 48, Stephen Kane. 3rd and 2.
Third down and 2 yards to go for the Rebels. And another massive defensive stand here needed for Sevier County. Up the middle, Barfield, no. It is Latham, and he gets the first down with ease. That first down brought to you by Squisito New York Pizza and Pasta. And West, just when they needed a little success in that running game, they got it to move the chains here with 8 minutes left.
Yeah, definitely a big player out there. Got to keep on a good stand here. We're still got lots of time left here, but we're getting later here in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they go for a couple more shots to the end zone here.
7:40 left to play. Jesse trying to draw the Smoky Bears offsides, and I think he did it there.
Yeah, bad time to get a penalty right now.
Smoky Bears offsides.
And they will move it up 5 yards. 7:40 and counting. 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. The Smoky Bears having missed on a 2-point conversion earlier, in which they tried to have the holder on the field goal toss it back to the kicker to get it into the end zone, but it was stuffed. So it could be 21-14, but as it stands, the Rebels only need a touchdown to take the lead. Barfield trying to do his part up the middle, close to the 20-yard line and into the red zone again of Sevier County. Moving the chains as this clock keeps ticking. At the 7-minute mark now for West's offense. Sevier County's defense trying to hold, trying to spoil this undefeated season for the Rebels. West 4-0 so far on the year. Sevier County 2-2. Jesse up the middle and off left tackle.
Holding.
Nice stop that time.
Got a flag here.
Sevier County defense, but a flag on the play.
Got a hold here. Yep, got a hold.
And it will be the correct call there from Chris, as Devin Jameson carried the rock that time for the Rebels offense. 6:45 left to play, and a very helpful holding call that time for the Sevier County defense. 19-14 in favor of the Smoky Bears. First down and 20 yards to go for Carson Jesse. 6:45 left to play, 19-14 in favor of Sevier County. Jesse slinging it over the middle as a man. Touchdown, Rebels.
I think it was almost intercepted and he dropped it.
Secondary for the West offense. And West takes a 1-point lead with 6:32 remaining. First down and 20, a 29-yard bomb from Carson Jesse to his receiver, and West has silenced this Sevier County crowd. That touchdown brought to you by Claybo's Express Shine. Find them on Wears Valley Road in Pigeon Forge. Rightfully electing to go for two here. 20-19, their lead now. Jesse will take it himself and trying to duck his way into the end zone, but no, not.
Big play.
County's defense holds on the 2-point conversion. Jesse just inches from crossing the plane, but the Smoky Bears with a white jerseyed stone wall with 6:32 left to play, 20-19 in favor of the West Rebels. Can Colin Shannon lead his team on a touchdown drive to win it? We'll find out when we come back here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
Wilson Field, 20 to 19 in favor of Knoxville West. A touchdown strike from Carson Jesse, his second tonight, and the Rebels have a 1-point lead with 6.5 minutes remaining. Looked like Corbin Overbay tried to take it out of his own end zone, but they will call it dead. Sevier County football at their own 20.
Jake, what an awesome next 6 minutes we're about to experience here. 20 to 19, awesome night. Smoky Bears in a great position to go down the field here. They've got the offense to do it. Let's see what they got here in the tank left. I think they got a lot here. Let's make sure you get the ball in Colin Shannon's hands, but also get to your playmakers, and that's what's going to make you the most successful.
And Chris, if you're Todd Loveday here, I think that you preach poise. You preach the poise that you had early in the first quarter to take that lead, and you preach accuracy for Colin Shannon, because right now the last thing you want to do is toss it to a blue jersey. 6.5 minutes remaining. West Rebels up by 1, and Colin Shannon with a first down and 10. And he immediately hits a receiver down the left sideline, and that is Mason Freeman on the reception out close to the 35.
What a great pass right there. What a great way to get up the field. Took a shot there at the end, but what a great job by number 25.
Ball on the 37, for Sevier County. That brings up a first down brought to you by Squisito New York Pizza and Pasta. Shannon going to go through the air again, hits Freeman again. And Freeman this time tugged out of bounds close to the 40. And credit number 8, that is Aiden Latham on the stop. Latham with a couple big catches for the Rebels tonight. And he has done it on defense as well. Just the beauty of high school football, where guys that are athletic enough to play both ways do just night in and night out.
Got Mason Ellis over here in the slot over here, Jake. Just came into the game.
6 minutes remaining. And Colin Shannon trying to lead this team back. Uncorking one down the sideline. Overthrowing Freeman. Tried to go to him on 3 straight possessions. And he had him open, but just a little over his target.
Gosh, Shannon can throw a beautiful ball, man. Just overthrew him there a little bit. Still a great play call. Love the play call.
Third down here for Sevier County. And looks to be 6 yards or 7 yards, excuse me, to go. Set to uncork it again. No! As he is wrestled down by a gang of Rebels, none more so than number 55, Jamias Mills.
Big play right there. They're going to have to punt it away here, Jake.
And West's defense has been a little shaky tonight, but the Rebels are there when it counted. Sevier County sets to punt him away. 5 minutes left in this ball game. And Jaquarius Wren set to receive for the Rebels. It will be number 58, Kellen Banks, set to boot it away once more for Sevier County.
Great punt.
A nice punt flying high into the Knoxville sky. And bounces out of bounds close to the 41-yard line.
About hit a Rebel in the back right there on that bounce right there, Jake. That was really close.
Chris, at this point, I got to say, even if it did, I'm not sure it would be called.
I'm not sure either, but it was close.
Ball on the 40 for West to start things out. 4:49 left to play. Sevier County's defense desperately needing a stop.
Do you run the ball here, Jake, or do you continue to push down the field?
I think you at least try to get something else going with the running game here. As Jesse lines up first and down, bumps into his running back, but he turns it into a positive gain rolling across the 50. He tried to go in.
Got a holding call. Holding call.
To Trevon Barfield, but it's called holding anyway. Looked like there was a little miscommunication there between quarterback and running back, and it will put the Red Bulls back after the hold. So with a 5-yard loss, Chris, this is your chance for the Sevier County defense to try to make a stand right here.
Sevier County's also got 3 timeouts here. Don't forget that. So does Knox West. But at the same time, we're going to set it for a 1st and 15 here. Let's see what the Bears can do on the backing the Rebels up here on a great defensive stop there and a holding call there. Got lucky there on the miss play there.
1st down and 20 from the 32, or 15, excuse me. Barfield up the middle, making 2 Smoky Bears miss, tugged down close to the 37.
Now we have a 2nd and 10 to get back to the original line of scrimmage, looks like, or close. Now about 2 yards short of the original line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 13 for Carson Jesse. Inside the 4-minute mark. 19 to 14, or excuse me, 20 to 19 in favor of the West Rebels after that touchdown strike from Carson Jesse earlier in this 4th quarter. Jesse, when he's needed to tonight, has put them on the money for the Rebels offense. Jesse will hand off.
Oh, he got that.
Sliced quickly in the backfield that time. He slid and could not go anywhere.
They're not going to call a timeout here. They got 3 of them. They're going to save them for offense so they can get off on the field here. Big play right here, Jake.
3rd down and very long for Sevier County. The line to gain is the 50. And it is 3rd and 17.
Back to pass.
Jesse.
Going deep.
Going deep, right side. As a receiver, incomplete.
No flags.
No flags on the field.
Going to bring 4th down.
Sevier County will get the football back. Inside, 3 minutes to play.
Jake, we got a good one here. They're going to have to punt the football here and going to give Colin Shannon and all Loveday here a great chance here to get the ball here. They can just play a good ball here. Let's see what we got here. What a great finish here in Knoxville.
For the Rebels, it will be Yossi Burke set to kick it away. Corbin Overbay back to receive.
What a kick.
Overbay runs back to field it and will take it at his own 20. So 80 yards to go for Colin Shannon to try to unseat the undefeated West Rebels. And Chris, you could not dial up the drama any more than this.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, what an awesome game so far by both these teams. Sevier County has really come up against a perennial force here, but they are looking like a perennial force in themselves. So let's see what we got here in Dial Up. What an awesome night for football. Let's see what happens here if they can get down the field here, and only down by 1 score, so you got lots of options.
Ball on the 23. 77 yards to pay dirt for Colin Shannon. Can he get the Smoky Bears there? Going deep on 1st
He's got him this time.
As Mason Freeman overthrowing his receiver. Freeman behind the secondary. That could have been the strike to win it for Sevier County, but it brings up 2nd down.
You couldn't have set that up any better, Jay. He rolled out. He actually got Freeman up the middle of the seam that time and overthrew him one more time. But, man, what an arm on him. He took a big shot right there. Hope he's okay. But, man, he had him wide open.
Shannon, I think, you know, in those situations, Chris, you see a guy that wide open, maybe you get a little too excited, think, oh, this is the ball game right here, and uncork it a little.
Take a breath, and let's get back to the game here. Make sure he calms down on that one.
2nd down, going deep again, over the middle, and incomplete. Colin Shannon looking like there was some miscommunication there with his receivers as he and Jace Henderson both have their hands out, I think, asking maybe for a little bit of an explanation.
And this is a 3rd down, Jake. I know the clock's not running, but they need a good play right here. If they're not sure, it might be a time to use a timeout, but at the same time, they're going to call a play and go here to stay those timeouts. But let's see what they got.
2:36 left to play. 20 to 19 in favor of West. And the Smoky Bears need a 1st down. Shannon going deep. Incomplete. And the Smoky Bear fans want a defensive pass interference call, but they're not going to get it. 4th down.
That's a flag going the other way!
Bring up a big 4th down, Jake. A 4th and 9.
4th down and 9. Sevier County going to go for it.
Here comes the
timeout on the play. We will find out Todd Loveday's decision when we come back. 20-19, and we have got a great finish coming up on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week.
Hey, a big thank you goes out to all the sponsors.
For the play here.
4th down for Sevier County. Possibly a last gasp here for Colin Shannon. His team trailing by 1 in Knoxville. Shannon rolling out of the pocket. Lets it fly. Oh, in and out of the
Flag. It's going to be pass interference. Or at least a hold.
Leaving the ground in frustration. I believe that was Gavin Jocelyn. Hold on in.
Wait to see what the call is here. We're talking about it. So that is a hold, Jake. It's going to be a 1st down, Smoky Bears.
On West.
Holding.
That will be a 1st down for the Smoky Bears. Another glimpse at life for Sevier County. 2:22 left to play. The Smoky Bears failing by 1, and finally all goes their way.
What a great job by Colin, just getting out there and throwing the ball down the field on a rope there. And honestly, should have been a caught ball, but they got the holding call here. The new set of downs here, so they can do with it.
1st down and 10 from inside the 35. Shannon rolling right again. Uncorks it deep. Has a receiver. Wow! Woo! 20-yard line. An incredible drag for the Sevier County offense.
Wow, Jake, what a play by there. Number 14, Overbay. Big shot.
On the reception. What a throw from Colin Shannon.
What a play there. That'll go down as one of the biggest plays they've had all season so far. What a great job of everybody laying out. He probably got the wind knocked out even a little bit. He's over there getting held up a little bit, but he'll get over here just a minute. They go down the field.
1st down and 10 for Shannon with 2 minutes remaining. Give it to Jace Henderson. Henderson fumbles, and West with the recovery. A bat-breaking fumble for Sevier County. 2 minutes remaining. Henderson coughs up the Bears. The fumble recovered for Ryan Scott from the Rebels. And absolute dejection on the Smoky Bears sideline.
That's so tough, Jake. Great play call again to run the football. The time going down. Took a bad snap there. Hope he's okay. And we might take a timeout here as we check on an injured play here, number 4.
On the field, looks like he may be dealing with a cramp issue on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. Jesse around left end, slides down, and that'll stop the clock. 1:53 left, and Sevier County trailing by 1. They'll go ahead and take one of those timeouts. And Chris Blevins, you have got to feel for Jace Henderson and hope he gets a shot at redemption tonight.
I mean, it's tough when that happens. I know it's a big play there. You have the ball pop loose there a little bit. Still got a little life here. Still under 2 minutes to go here. They just called a timeout here. They could probably possibly get the ball back, but just a heartbreaking fumble right there. But the game's not over, and we still got more time left here to play.
1:53 left in the fourth quarter. 20-19 in favor of the Rebels. Sevier County, as mentioned, trying to knock off undefeated Knoxville West on Sutherland Avenue. West, the perennial power out of Region 1, or excuse me, Region 2 5A, and then Sevier County out of Region 1 5A. Barfield up the middle, and he is stopped quickly. And that will again stop the clock.
Bring up third down
Brings
here.
up third down here for Smoky Bears.
50, Shane Scott. Timeout, Sevier
And
County.
another timeout for the Smoky Bears defense.
It's 3rd and 4.
Third down and 4 yards to go coming up. And with 1:45 left, Chris, they have still got time here. You've just got to make a stop on this play.
Yeah, this is going to be a big play right here. Got to get a stop here. Looks like it's going to be about a 3rd and 3. Has to be 4 here, but they obviously got to get off the field here and get the ball back here, give them a chance to get some more points on the board. I'm sure Knox West don't want to give them the ball back, Jake.
Third down and 4 for the Rebels. 1:45 left to play. Sevier County trailing, by 1. Looked to be a back-breaking fumble from Jace Henderson earlier. Can the Smoky Bears defense get it back? Up the middle, and Barfield with no one close. A big first down out to about the 35-yard line. Just gashing the Sevier County defense on that third down call.
Yeah, that was tough, man. Good run down there, number 14. Now you get in a situation here now. We got under a minute left, no timeouts. They just need to hold the ball and run it. So got to be able to strip it out, get to the football, get your helmet on the football, try to cause some kind of turnover. If not, going here to, actually they're probably going to kneel the ball here. That's right.
West going to kneel it as we near the minute mark.
Jake, I know that the game's not over, but what an awesome game here tonight here in Knox. I mean, I know Sevier County has played a heck of a game. So is Knox West, too. Both programs playing a good night. Going to be a tough loss here for Sevier County, even though the game's not over yet. 41 seconds left to go. But, man, what an awesome night here at Knox West.
Inside the 30-second mark now, Carson Jesse, I believe, will have to kneel it just one more time.
Quarterback downs the ball. Clock keeps running. It's 3rd down and 15.
3rd down and 15 for Jesse. The clock now at the 20-second mark. And that will do it. The Sevier County faithful giving their Smoky Bears a well-deserved round of applause. But the Smoky Bears fall short tonight in the upset bid in Knoxville. 20-19 in favor of West. The Rebels survive and move to 5-0. Meanwhile, Sevier County falls to 2-3 on the season. And as mentioned, Chris, even if it doesn't happen tonight, we've got to hope that Jace Henderson gets a redemption tour at some point this season, because that young man, that fumble at the end, played his heart out, as did the rest of this Sevier County football team.
Yeah, what an awesome game tonight. Both these teams played hard. Sevier County really made it a game. Really proud of watching these guys play. And this is a little scene on the field tonight as we see these guys shake hands. We haven't seen this in a while, Jake, as they come out here with a couple different things here as far as the pandemic goes. So awesome to see these kids out here be able to shake hands and get back to normal. What an awesome night here for high school football.
Yeah, and again, you know, as they're shaking hands, I think you can see some words exchanged there. You can't imagine, I think, the respect that's been earned tonight for Sevier County against a very tough West team, even without Shannon Blair, who they lost since week 1. But Sevier County absolutely played their tails off tonight, and I think for that you can give our player of the game to Mr. Colin Shannon. He was absolutely fantastic tonight.
Oh, he was
just
very fantastic.
All over the field for the Smoky Bears offense, who will regroup before going into next week. So again, a very tough loss tonight for the Smoky Bears, but one that I'm sure will have Todd Loveday's team motivated going forward. So as mentioned, another great broadcast tonight. Thank you for joining us here on the Your High School Sports Game of the Week. And we will announce soon our location for next week. But for tonight in Knoxville, 20-19 in favor of the West Rebels. For Nathan Miranda on one of our cameras, for Chris Reddick, for Chris Blevins, and for Roddy Woods and Victoria, I'm Jake Nichols, signing off from Sutherland Avenue and West High School.
Just look at all those freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm sure it makes you want one or a dozen right now. So come visit our locally owned and operated Krispy Kreme donuts in Pigeon Forge. Our Krispy Kreme donuts are made fresh daily, our service is fast and friendly, and the taste will put a smile on anyone's face. Krispy Kreme is a fundraising favorite, so call us today to help support your school or community fundraising efforts. Our delivery truck is there when you need us. Krispy Kreme Donuts on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Tune in to the Alewife Pottery Channel 196. Watch local craftsmen and learn of the rich Smoky Mountain heritage and history. Meet Robert Alewife and his family as they take you on their journey of their successful pottery business in the Gatlinburg's arts and crafts community. Established by Robert Alewife more than 30 years ago, this business has grown up with the Alewife family. Alewife Pottery is renowned nationwide, not only for their stunning handmade ceramics, but also their friendly, fun-loving family atmosphere. Tune to Channel 196, the Alewife Pottery Channel, and enjoy these great stories.